I'm Ryan Brockington with the New Now Next Minute. Joining us is our friend Melissa Murray. She's a professor at UC Berkeley. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
So, as a legal scholar of family law, what's your take on the DOMA and Prop 8 rulings and their effects on the LGBT communities and families?
Well, for sure, these have huge effects for LGBT families. So the fact that this is no longer constitutional is huge. It means that LGBT couples who are in lawful marriages can be considered spouses for purposes of federal law when federal law makes those distinctions on the basis of marriage. So that's enormous. It counts for tax purposes. It counts for perhaps even immigration. I mean, it's enormous. The Prop 8 decision is more limited. It applies primarily in California, and I think there's still going to be some questions about the scope and nature of what that decision means in California. But it means, I think, at least initially, that same-sex marriages are going to be legalized in California, and that, of course, is enormous for LGBT families here in the state.
You know, this is the biggest, I would say, moment for LGBT civil rights in our history, and really, it's
Not sure about that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe in my history, okay?
I think 2003 Lawrence versus Texas was enormous, and I don't think you have a day like today unless you had Lawrence versus Texas.
Right.
And Lawrence versus Texas said that same-sex intimacy was no longer criminal. You couldn't go to jail for having sex with your partner, and unless you sort of decriminalize the conduct, I don't think you ever get to the point where we even discuss same-sex marriage. So for my money, Lawrence is the precursor to all of this, and we wouldn't be celebrating today if it hadn't been for the work that was done by so many LGBT advocates on that case back in 2003. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank you. More on the SCOTUS decisions, everything happening. We'll keep you updated. You are watching the New Now Next Minute. I'm Ryan Brockington.